Hogan Watch.
I am a real American.
I am Chester Carson for OWW Radio, and according to HighPots.com, they've announced that WWE Hall of Famer Hulk Hogan will be the special guest referee of Reid Flair's debut match next month. The match will happen at an indie show in December 6th at Vance Nebulon High School in Charlotte, North Carolina. In the main event, the Nasty Boys, managed by Jimmy Hart, will take on David and Reid Flair, managed by their father, Ric Flair. Also announced for the 12-6 Charlotte event is the Midnight Express, Stan Lane and Bobby Eaton versus The Rock and Roll Express. And I am Chester Carson for OWW Radio.
All right, thanks, Chester. Click on over to the second hour of OWW Radio. It's Bill Anderson joining us. Nick and Kenai, OWWFan.com. Also, email radio@obsessedwithwrestling.com. OWW Radio. Joining us right now, let's ask him his perspective on the traditional Survivor Series match. He's the founder of my local indie promotion, EWF in San Bernardino, legendary trainer of some of the greatest. It's Bill Anderson. Bill, thanks for joining us here on OWW Radio.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
Man, like I said, it's an honor to speak with you. And what are some of your thoughts about the traditional Survivor Series match that the WWE has completely done away with?
Well, I'm old school all the way. What they started back 20 years ago is exactly the way it should have been formatted today, as far as I'm concerned. I am a fan of the way it used to be. The teams, the whole Survivor Series concept was great. The way that probably it was Pat Patterson, more than likely, the genius that he is, came up with those kind of ideas, and that was the way the pay-per-view should have been created and kept, as far as I'm concerned.
That's right. You had a birthday, right?
Yeah, just a few days ago. I turned 52. Can't believe it.
There's a website on the internet that's going around. It says "Date Bill Anderson." What's that about?
Oh, I can't believe you saw that. That was actually done as a joke. A friend of mine out here in Phoenix, where I live, Tim Hicks, he has a website called Arizona Wrestling Legends, ArizonaWrestlingLegends.com, or is it .org? Ooh, I'm bad. I don't know. And Tim did that more as a joke, and actually after he did such a great job with it, I says, you know what, let's go with that. But it never actually went anywhere. He decided he felt it was best not to do it because I might get some wacky people.
Well, did you get any replies from it?
Yeah, actually, to be honest with you, I kind of hooked back up with an ex-girlfriend out in San Bernardino, California.
Wow, look at you, man.
Because of that, she emailed me, and I hadn't talked to her in a couple of years, and I actually went out and saw her 2 weeks ago, and I'm going back out on Thanksgiving weekend to see her again.
Oh, so you'll be in my neck of the woods for Thanksgiving?
Well, for that Friday night, Saturday, and part of Sunday, yes.
Well, tell us about the EWF. You still have any connections with EWF?
No, I don't. You know, I split off from Jesse Hernandez, and right. We created that promotion back in, I believe, around 96, I think, and maybe 95, but we broke apart in 2000, and, we trained a lot of great guys, Rico Costantino, I don't know, Tom Howard. There was a lot of guys that came through our school. Guys came in and trained like Chris Jericho, Matt Bourne, superstar Billy Graham had been out to the school. I had known Papa Shango, or whatever name everyone knows him under. His real name's Charles Wright, out in Vegas. The Godfather. He had come in and trained with me at another school I had out in L.A. at one time back in 1990, and he came out several times in the late 90s and trained. Whenever he came up with a new gimmick or something, he would come out there, and when he was trying his Kama gimmick and all these other things, and he would come out and train with us, drive down from Vegas and spend some time out with us. And it was just, it was good for what it was as far as I was concerned. I broke apart for creative differences with Jesse, and he's a good person. He means well. It's just we had a personality split. It was just like a marriage went bad is all it was. And he's still doing the EWF. And
Right.
I went on to do the IWC in Riverside, California, for a couple of years, and had great success doing that. I used guys like Frankie Kazarian that came out of our school, Rocky Romero, Ricky Reyes, Samoa Joe, Horseshoe, who was Luther Reigns and became Luther Reigns in WWF, came in and worked some shows. I had a great group of guys, and they just worked so hard for me, and I was so proud of all of my my IWC shows that I promoted.
Now the IWC, that they're no longer
no longer. No, I stopped that in 2001. When I had my last match in 2001. I had my first match in 1974, and my last match in 2001. And a couple months later, I closed the promotion down, and as this saying goes, I got a regular job, and which was very hard and unusual for me after so many years of doing what I did. And then I ended up a couple years later moving to Phoenix, and I've been here for 4 years.
Now, Bill, we've talked a little bit about your career in terms of your training with Slam Wrestling. Now, I was just curious, some time has passed since we talked about that. Are you still open to maybe in the future training wrestlers? It's
a possibility. The business has changed a lot. I was pretty up on it still in 2000, 2001. The mentality's quite a bit different, and if you guys, and I'm sure you are, following like TNA right now and the way Sting and that main event mafia thing that they've got going there, you know, it honestly, it's kind of like a working shoot. You know, the guys are everybody knows what's going on there with the young guys versus kind of the older school mentality guys. But you know what? That's real too, and that's how a lot of these guys sincerely feel. And probably I would be right along with them because even when I ran my school and had great success, I'd have a ring full of students every single night I had a training session. I'd have guys turn around and they'd ask me, "Have you ever wrestled before? Who are you?"
Wow.
And they were like, they're training, and it's like, don't you get it? You're missing the whole picture here. You know, I mean, 10, 15 years before you came to the school, I was training Sting and the Ultimate Warrior and the Angel of Death and Strangler Steve DeSalvo and Daryl Peterson and a lot of guys that came out of the camp I had with Red Bastien back in '85. So, you know, and before that, I'd been in the business 10 years before that even, or 11 years. So it was like there's guys that didn't even understand. I mean, when I trained in a school with Afa and Sika and Bobby Jaggers. Were in the camp that I was in Phoenix here in 1973. That's how I broke into the business from those kind of guys, which were a lot bigger than me because at the time I was 6'2", 175 pounds, soaking wet, and now I literally am twice the man I used to be. So you know, it's just so the kids been getting to answer your question. Really, the kids nowadays that come into the business, they really, honestly, do lack a lot of respect for a lot of the veterans of the business. They forget who kind of paved the way, and not to say that like guys like Samoa Joe are guilty of that by all means. I think guys like AJ Styles, I think he's one of the most tremendous athletes I ever laid eyes on. I've never met the kid, but I tell you, I have just a tremendous respect for guys like him.